Welcome to Java. It's December 19th, 2024, and it's also Thursday, the day after the Fed announced the expected quarter point rate cut in the United States after the FOMC. Now, this was major mover in markets, but before I go into that, I wanted to thank everybody who showed for the Discord last night. Thank you very kindly for that. It was very interesting speak. We've got a couple of weeks coming up of holidays, so we won't have the live chats necessarily, but we will be in there, and I'm going to be updating there more, as well as on Twitter. I will be taking probably the week next for off because there will be low volatility and also closures for the market during the holiday dates. But I'll go over that more tomorrow because we'll be here tomorrow. So with this, there is quite a bit that is happening in the markets. Let's get right into that. Starting with the MMRI, our favorite risk indicator, jumped to extreme risk territory 303.9. With this, we had Greg came out and announced that he had closed all of his stock positions, moved entirely to cash. With what's going on due to the parity of the 10-year yield and the federal funds rate. Now, this is largely related to the Fed cut rates, but it wasn't the reason. So one kind of influencing the other. Now with this, we've got fear greed meter solidly down into fear territory, losing some of the retail traders on what happened yesterday. There was a sharp drop. In case you missed it, the Dow continued its losing streak, longest losing streak it's had in some time. Now with this, we're watching the 10-year yield spiked currently at 4.525. This is a large warning signal. Now, with this, not financial advice, you can do with your stocks as you like. It appears initially that this drop will have what we call a dead cat bounce. And we're going to watch if institutions use these to sell into, and that's kind of the initial expectation. However, this could be a temporary recovery. We're going to watch for confirmation, but there could be a continuance on this weakness in the markets, specifically going into the holidays. Now, there is still a lot of tax sale loss and rebalancing going into the last of the year. We've only got a few trading days left in the year, and definitely going into January could prove continuance in this weakness. So with this, we've got cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin dropped to 100,000 level only briefly. It is already recovering from that level, but we're going to keep a watch on these things as everything else. Now, with this announcement, this is kind of setting some flames in the currency wars. Now, I've put the other currencies up here, and what is going on is they're all now the euro, the ECB, as well as Bank of Japan are announcing that they may go a little easier in order to kind of bolster themselves. So with this, we had the yen drop after Bank of Japan are holding the rates because they are concerned about the new administration coming in for the United States, as well as the tariff wars. So with this, Bank of Japan, the yen dropped, the 10-year yield spiked. We have less cuts going forward in 2025 from the Fed. They have priced in 2 rate hikes is kind of what is positing now. So it wasn't so much the rate cut that dropped the markets. It was Jerome Powell's speech afterwards saying that they're urging caution and that they are now watching not just inflation. He believes that is coming in line, but the employment numbers. So unemployment, the new metric, as I've been saying, that is really what is on watch. The unfortunate thing about that is, as we all know, the numbers they're putting out are manipulated. So with this heavy manipulation, you can expect that job numbers will be increasing more than what they're letting onto, but that will be the metric that they are watching. So I'll speak about Canada in a moment with their issues because they've got some things going on as well. We have to talk about energy going forward. There is going to be a need for energy. So with this, we've got the Bitcoin retrace and this recovery. There's going to be much more volatility still going into the end of this year, particularly as volume is dropping in the traders. So with this, just to give you a general view of what happened yesterday, heat maps, stocks, and the drops, Amazon taking a serious hit, Tesla as well, Google, Microsoft, Meta, all of your Mag 7s, with Apple and Nvidia taking the least bit on this. Now, this is this morning, so we've got cryptocurrencies already in recovery, just to show you the difference between the two. Now, moving forward with this, we've got the calendar this morning. Initial jobless claims and GDP prior to the market opening. We're getting home sales, which I expect to be weak again, leading economic indicators. The United States economy is extremely weak, barely surviving. It is not resilient, as they're saying. My opinion on what I'm seeing in the real numbers. We've got shadow stats bolstering that. So at any rate, we've also got PCE coming out tomorrow, and this is all prior to market open. So brace yourselves for that. Now I'd like to speak a little bit about the ripples and that this will have globally, as well as the currency wars. We've got a lot of political turmoil that, while this is not directly markets, does have an effect. Now, we've got Brazil having serious issue with their currency sell-off. Now, politically, Lula is going to have to do something about this. Now, I've got a little bit more about BRICS in a moment. Now, we've got senior Tory urging Elon Musk not to back Reform UK. Now, they're seeing the crowd that he's had in the United States moving forward, and I'll hit that in a moment. We've got Canada in serious trouble. Now, the finance minister, with all of these tariffs and the global currency wars, resigned. Trudeau is now on his own, trying to appoint another one. And what we've got is a serious issue, not just between their unemployment rates rising rapidly, but their inflation is also rising rapidly. So he's caught between a rock and a hard place and definitely losing popularity. So with this, we've got Trump and Musk dropping the United States government spending bill. Now, this was a bloated bill that they had tried to put out during Christmas week, really, is what this boils down to. But they put a lot of additional spending in there, including an increase in their pay raise for Congress. So they're voting on their own pay raises and some other highly inflationary measures. Normally, they pass this without an issue because no one looks into it. However, this was put out on the platform formerly known as Twitter, now X, and it gained a lot of backing through people that brought this up and kind of crushed that. So there is a chance it could be serious turmoil tomorrow due to a government shutdown. It'll be temporary. They'll figure out something. They always do. However, that could rock markets tomorrow as well and continue this downturn. So this is across the West, not just the United States. We've got Le Pen, this is in France, predicting an early exit by Macron. He is now, as she is saying, done, and the country likely headed for an early election. So more political turmoil and more currency wars, more financial turmoil going across the global West. So with this, we've got a few other things that I just want to bring up prior to letting you go. For this, we've got Bezos-backed Perplexity. Now, this is Amazon, raising $500 million to triple its value. They're competing with Google and OpenAI. This all the artificial intelligence wars that's going on forward will be directing everything. So just one more player that I'd like to bring to your attention. So another story, United States retail sales. It's not strengthening. It may be strengthening relatively to the miserable state that it's been in, but they're saying that there is a jump in motor vehicle purchases. Now, there's a jump in relation to the ground bottom that it's hit because there's been a few purchases, but the real numbers in the back side of this is that it's still down tremendously. So, in contrast with the Western world, we've got Russian official declaring that the BRICS payment system is a real alternative to the US dollar. They've also gone on to say that it's not only a real alternative, but it is functioning now. So the back end of this is they're using a cryptocurrency that they will be able to trade pegged to other things, pegged to probably commodities, but they've already got the functioning system for it and will be rolling it out soon. Now, with this, we've got some realizations in the back end of the United States government as well as the euro. So Binance.us planning to restore the US dollar and USD services in early 2025. Now, they've got a new CEO coming in. There's been a lot of upturn with this and politically affecting that because the regulation is what pushed that exchange out of the United States in the first place. So if they can come back, that will make cryptocurrencies much more liquid again, much more tradable in one of the arguably largest markets in the world. So I've got a few other things that I want to hit on really quickly. We've got United States officials have been told to switch to encrypted communications. They are saying that there are much more breaches specifically from Asia, specifically China, and also that they have been being tracked. So maybe China is using the United States officials to train their artificial intelligence because they've got the same thing going on there as we do here. And I've got a question about this because I like to question everything. Now, we have been told in the United States repeatedly that there are no American troops fighting over in Ukraine, and also that it is questionable and a rumor that Korean troops are over there fighting with the Russian troops. So if this is true, then how do we have a couple hundred North Korean troops killed, as this is reported, and this is in official channels, wounded in battles with Ukrainian forces? So first one exposed North Korean troops are there. Second one exposed United States Army is over there as well. But, don't worry if they send you over there and you don't make it back. They will put a this side up sticker on your coven so they don't overturn you. So no worries there. I've got a couple of other things. The first is, pardon my humor on that if you don't like it, because I find this all absolutely ridiculous. Now we've got Tom Cruise was honored by the United States Navy. He got the highest honor in the civilian world for filming Top Gun. Now, in my opinion, he's just doing his job, and if anything else, should perhaps think about joining the USO and going where the areas are hot, rather than just making a perfectly safe film, other than perhaps the dangerous instance that he prefers to do himself. Now, I don't mean this to be demeaning, but I don't know that this necessarily would qualify as a hero. So with this, yes, I'm a little bit cynical here, pardon me. We've got special ops leaders eyeing alarming levels of adversary collaboration. Now, this goes over here with the North Korean troops as well, because it's now North Koreans, Iranians, etc. And it's only now beginning to come out publicly, even though we've been speaking about this for some time. So with all of this darkness, though, we've got quite a few positive things coming out, many things to look forward to, but I do urge caution in the markets, not trading the downside yet. You've got to wait for this to set. Urging not to catch falling knives is the most dangerous things you can do. Let it set a level first, not financial advice, just experience. So with this, wish you all a wonderful day, and going into tomorrow, I'll be with you tomorrow morning. And until I see you again, my friends, stay free.